So I thought I would just make a quick video of how to, if you come in and the camera is not on, what to do, and some of the settings on the camera that you will probably need for operating camera. So if you came in and this is the camera, there's nothing on. I mean, you can see there's nothing showing in the, in the monitor or any of the monitors over here. Then you would just go up top here and you would just flick that little switch. You just flick that forward and then you will notice that it will start to power on. And so there the camera is on right now. And then your controls, well, your controls are not on yet. And then on this little monitor over here, there's a little button like that you just push on the side. So then this is that's your viewers that you can actually just that you can look at instead of having to look up at that one. Also, when you fire this on and your screen looks like this, all you do is you take your finger and you just slide it up, and then it gets rid of the information. So if you touch it and you slide it down, it comes up, but you're not going to need any information on there for now. So that's how you do that one. In order to turn the focus and zoom on, you would come, there's a power button on these motors over here. You just lean forward, you just push that. And because those ones are connected together, both of them will fire up. On this one, it's a record, like a record button. You just push that over there and it'll turn the focus on. Same thing on the other side for zoom. It turns that on. So now in essence, your camera is, you can have focus and zoom control on your camera. The other thing that is really useful as well is if you are having issues, because I know that some of you, I'm going to try and see how I can adjust this focus so it's not as fine, it's a little bit more, it's easier to access. Instead of it going past your focus point, then I'm going to try and figure out how to slow down the focus and also the zoom. That is something I'm hoping I can have it done soon. So that being said, your settings over here, it's a good thing to always make sure that your settings are right. So we are, our frame rate is, we're shooting in 2997. So if you look on the left-hand top corner, you will see that. Our shutter speed is generally, unless I choose to do so on a different camera, like these ones in front of house, they are 1/30th of a second for shutter speed. The f-stop on this one, if you have a look over there, you can see that it's 3. On camera 2, it's actually 3.6. I may actually be changing this one. But anyway, so if I say to you, what is your stop? Then that's where you look. You look up there and it says, it's like f 3.0, because it'll go, I'm not sure if it goes 3.2, 3.6. So that's it. So that's what it means. If I say, what is your stop? Then that's where you look and you tell me what that is. Also, if I say what your shutter speed is, then it'll also, you don't have to go 1/30. Your shutter speed is 30, okay? Also, your ISO, we're shooting 400 right now on these cameras. I think all the Urshas, we probably should be shooting 400 ISO. It's just, yeah, for now, that just seems like a good number. And then also our color temperature for the cameras, which is actually set to the lighting, because the lighting is at 3000 Kelvin, and so the color temperature set on the camera is 3000. So once again, if I had to say to you, because if I look at your camera, if we're looking at the multi-view, and I look at camera, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and then I go, oh, what is your stop? Because maybe it looks like it's underexposed or overexposed, then you look over there and you tell me what your stop is. If I say, oh, what is your color temperature? Because maybe on my monitor, the input for camera 1 or whatever it is, 3, 4, is looking off, and you just tell me what it is. I can look on the camera control, but sometimes there is a bit of a disconnect with that. But anyway, so those things they really are useful and important to know as a camera operator. The other thing too is if you look above the record button, and some of you had actually made use of this, there is a focus button that you can actually push. So if by some chance you are having issues over here with focus, then you can actually push that button and then straight away it'll hit focus. And once again, I think I actually had to do that on a Sunday, which I wasn't a fan of, because somehow, I don't know, we took camera 1, I believe it was camera 1, and then it looked soft. It was not in focus, and I went to I took camera control unit and I hit one and I forced focus over there because I just needed it fast. but that is not the ideal thing. So if you are struggling with that, then that's the little button that you push, is that little focus button above the record. Obviously there are a lot more things in the menu that a person can learn. Right now, with what is being done, it's not necessary for you to know, some of these things, but moving ahead, that is something we could delve into, but for now, we're actually okay. If for whatever reason, and this has actually happened, because all of these are powered, all these controls are actually powered through the camera, and I did notice the one time, I don't know what happened, but the power actually went off. So once again, if you find, oh my word, my focus is not working, the first thing to do is actually look, oh, did I lose power for whatever reason? I don't know why it would happen, but it can. Then you just hit that record button again, hold it down, and then it'll actually, it'll come back on. Also, I know that the one time one of you, or maybe two of you, had issues because your motors for your zoom and focus were, it just was acting a little bit strange. And so what you can actually do is you could literally just go, make sure that you're not pushing on these power cables, and you could just literally take this and then just push it into the gears. That's what I've actually done. I've just literally gone like that, and then pushed it into the gears. And for most times it's actually solved the issue. I mean, moving ahead, we may need to make a few little adjustments, but in the moment, I believe that'll actually work. So, yeah, and then for those of you who also don't know, this monitor over here is your program monitor as well. So in essence, this is, for you, this is your standby preview, monitors, and then this little monitor over here is program. And then so whatever is being sent to program will show up over there, so that you can actually, for cameras 1 and 2, you can know that. For the other cameras, you don't. There's actually a way on the studio cams to actually push a button, and they'll actually show you what is live in program. But for the most part, it's not like something you need to know. You just need to be listening to the calls, because if we are saying, okay, camera 1, standby, taking 1, you're live. And also it will actually show up over here, and then the little LCD, it'll actually have a red rim around it, but not that you're looking over there, because you're looking over there, and this monitor is not accessing that same menu, so you won't know that. But the important thing is you're listening to the calls. So as soon as, if I say, ready 1, taking 1, obviously 1 is live, okay? So then we're going to be moving on to the next camera at some point, standing by for 3 or 4, okay, ready on 4, taking 4. And then if you had to look at that, you would actually see green over there. No, that's only if you're on standby, but for most likely after that shot, you would be on standby. But just listen to the calls. That is more important than looking at something. If you are not sure, obviously, you could look over there. You also, you can look up over there to see if you are, live on red. But the important thing, once again, listening to the calls. So I hope that this little video helps as far as your Ursha Mini Pro camera. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. You can post the questions online in the comment section, or you can talk to me as well. Awesome. Thank you.